Good morning. Welcome to the midweek edition of your number one breakfast show inside Nigeria. The program is reaching your leadership television. My name is Winifred Ikwebo, and of course, as you can see, I have with me in the studio my runaway midweek guest. It's been a long while today with Joe.
Just 2 weeks of being
2 weeks
absent.
or 3 weeks.
It's 2 weeks. It's just 2 weeks.
It's more than that. So it's good to have you back in the studio.
My
With me this
pleasure.
Wednesday morning. We are looking at some of the papers we have on our menu today, and incidentally, most of them have the same leading story. And of course, the story has been trending on the embattled PDP chair and IU. So let's take it up from Leadership newspaper, Nigeria's most influential newspaper. Leadership says on the story, 31 days after presidential poll, G5 governors move to see IU's fate amid PDP crisis. 31 days after presidential poll, G5 governors move to see IU's fate amid PDP crisis. Citing court order, embattled party chairman steps aside, ending his 514-day reign. Damagum takes over. IU is gone forever, Wike post. Rivers Governor Orton behind illegal suspension campaign cancel. That is on Leadership newspaper. And of course, Leadership also has other stories as well on its cover. Let's look at the one just beneath the masthead. National oil exploration. Nigeria targets 3 MV meter per day, barrel per day crude production. Nasarawa oil exploration. Nigeria targets 3 million per barrel per day crude production. That is on page 7 of Leadership. Of course, terrorism in Sahel region, a global challenge for Sibajo. Zenith Bank grows earnings by 24% to 945.5 billion naira. That's a good one anyway, coming from the bank. 1 year after Kaduna train attack, victims' items unclaimed. 1 year after Kaduna train attack, victims' items unclaimed. Lagos governorship will of the people prevail. Hamzat. That's all we can take from Leadership. From Leadership, we move over to Vanguard. Vanguard says PDP crisis. IU act. Damagum named acting chairman. I'm taking office to fulfill all righteousness. Damagum. NWC to meet review developments today. He behaved like a village headmaster. Bode George. Accept your reign has ended. Wike mocks IU. Same story on Daily Sun. Daily Sun says PDP Atiku Wike camps clash over IU sack. Atiku Wike camps clash over IU sack. Damagum takes over as acting chairman. He is gone, Rivers Governor Wike. His suspension wrong, insists Atiku campaign cancel. This day has similar story but twisted. In Mensing after political death, IU steps aside, Damagum takes over. In Mensing after political death, IU steps aside, Damagum takes over. Ibioro World Exco insists signatures on suspension order forged. PDP nominates Saraki orders into ad hoc committee to conduct Uber primary for Kogi, Imo, Bayelsa. Ex-chairman's reign has ended in our party, Wike declares. He was behaving like a headmaster, George recalls. Nnamani says he was an evil that befell the opposition. Still on blueprint, Wike Nnamani on PDP crisis. IU's tenure unmitigated disaster. We are vindicated. National Working Committee jostles for redemption, names Damagum as replacement. Sack illegal, insists parties presidential campaign committee spokesman. Yedioha withdraws from Imo PDP governorship primary. Still on the same Punch newspaper. Same story on the Punch newspaper. Suspension, IU heads for court as PDP appoints acting chair. IU heads for court as PDP appoints acting chair. IU wants court to overturn suspension. Damagum to run party pending judgment. PDP recorded worst electoral acting order IU embattled chair weak, gone for good, G5. Wow. It's the same story today on all the papers.
There,
Except
there isn't any bigger news story
at all.
in Nigeria today since yesterday evening beyond the stepping aside, borrowing the words of Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida in 1993, when he said he's stepping aside as head of state, as president, military president, because when Babangida calls himself military president, which is antithesis. Military is not known to be democratic, so how could you be president? Also, that you are not elected.
Exactly.
But yes, when that story broke yesterday afternoon, I took interest in it because I knew after the news on Sunday that his ward in Benue, in Boko Benue State, has suspended him.
They gave him the
Oshomole treatment. Not only Oshomole treatment, they also gave him Uche Secondus treatment.
Oh, yeah.
In fact,
yeah,
you need to read Wike's lampoon of Ayu yesterday. That Ayu didn't even know as chairman that Section 57 sub 7 of the PDP Constitution of as amended in 2017, which is laying claim to, has been amended, and the court has ruled on it, on its validity, and it has not been challenged. So there are interesting days ahead to see how the Ayu will fight the battle of his life in his 70s. Unfortunately, be careful what you ask for, you may have it. When Ayu made a promise after he was inaugurated that if it will take him to resign for peace to reign in PDP, he will do so. More so, if somebody of northern extraction should emerge as the standard bearer, the presidential standard bearer of PDP. He didn't know that he would be held to account on the basis of that promise. Because what you, Wike, Ikpeazu, Ugwuanyi, Makinde, and Otto are saying is that you said you were going to resign if the party produced another presidential candidate. Then fulfill your promise. And that's when they start singing that song. Agreement, yeah. Agreement. So now he now said, okay, and yes, I said it, but then I will resign only after the election. That the way it should be done is that when they produce the president-elect, it then means that the president-elect will be president for 4 years. And then the North will not produce both the chairman of the party and the president of the party. They may want to hang on the fact that, after all, Atiku did not win. So I can still be chairman. But over which party do you want to preside? The party is hemorrhaging. Seriously hemorrhaging. Look, Emeka Ihedioha was said to have left PDP for Labour Party yesterday.
He has left. Yes. In fact, I was coming to that. You are just
they said,
you are jumping.
Yes, because what I learned is that he possibly felt that Labour will make him governor.
Because the cousin actually is my friend. So I was asking that what is wrong? Why is he leaving? And from this report I got that this community, if they say another community, they were going to support the other PDP candidate. I have forgotten his name. That they were throwing their support.
So
he has already seen that.
Yes, which is what Peter Obi also saw.
I sent this to my who is also the
and if somebody like Emeka Ihedioha, who actually was one of the agents of Atiku,
yes, we saw him
at the presidential so you can see that the party is hemorrhaging.
It is, and that's why I just want to have allow you your thoughts first before I chip in this. Now, I use obstinance or insistence on staying on who is going to fund for it? Because we know that at least some of this G5, though they have whittled down to about G3 now, the governor that is himself. So how does he intend to stay on without party's support? And
That's why I think the honorable thing,
when he doesn't even end
their confidence.
their
Now,
support.
now, if you look at the population of Labour Party, most of people who left for Labour Party were from PDP. Majority in the southeast and south, majority of those who you find in Labour Party today were former member of PDP. APC, the reason why APC won this presidential election was because the party was largely intact going into the election. None of his governors left, but from PDP left Dave Umahi. That's what we say. No, you know, people, if not for the master strategy that Tinubu deployed, that Muslim ticket could have made some of the governors to defect. You get, but none of them defected, and they went into that election with 21
governors, except for
21
and Cross River. They don't have governors in the south and southeast, except Imo.
But that's significant.
You know, you said
they have Cross
River.
River.
So I was like, no, most of their governors are actually in the north and the north section. So
it does not matter.
Much. It don't have much in the south and south.
If assuming that Dave Umahi and Cross River, Ayade had left, that would have diminished the fortune of the party. And Simon Lalong, you know, his people in Plateau said he should go and resign as chairman or as the chairman of PCC or DG of PCC, because it's a night of Saint whatever in Catholic Church. And he said, no, I cannot resign. This is politics. It's not religious activity. And that's why he got punished, where he lost the state and lost his senatorial ambition. So what I'm saying invariably is that it will have been best for Ayu not to fight back. You are not wanted in PDP. In fact, everything a man can aspire for, Ayu has been it. 3 times minister, former president of the Senate, an academic of repute. What else? In 70 years, you have achieved all of that. And then national chairman of a party, even if it's for 500 days, that is still something. But to fight back, I foresee a situation where PDP will be in court in 2026, if care is not taken. Because that's how it started with, in 2015, when they pushed out Adamu Mwazu after they lost to Buhari, and they brought in Senator Alimadu Sherif, who ran as security card chairman. And Alimadu Sherif, some contested that he was not properly appointed, that is a mole of APC. And they set up in Rivers State McAfee Committee to oversee the affairs of the party. And Alimadu Sherif went to court, and he fought it up to Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court gave his judgment in 2018, barely 1 year to election. So it was not a surprise that Atiku lost, because the party was in disarray from 2015 to 2018, where that case lasted. Today, Alimadu Sherif is back to APC. Did you see him on at the inauguration breakfast after the declaration of Tinubu as the president-elect? He was there. He seated very close to it. So what I'm saying is that if Dr. Iyorchia, you have the interest of PDP at times, he should not allow this crisis to linger. Rather than saying he's stepping aside and fighting the case, he should just put in your resignation letter. Enjoy the rest of your life in peace. And if you want to sue Wike for maligning, for libel, because Wike called him thief, he said he stole over 1 billion he received as bribe and all of that, he can then go to court to clear his name. But enjoy the rest of his life in peace. because these people that he wants to take on, they are behemoth. And they are ready to drag him in the mud for the Wike has nothing to lose. In fact, you may find out that in the government of national unity that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu will form, Wike may become a minister for what he did for the party.
The president-elect has already told Nigerians that he is not going to run the government of national unity. He's going to run the government of competence, which I personally support.
Are you saying that Wike is not competent? Wike is a former chairman of a local government, former chief of staff, former minister of the Federal Republic, and two-time governor.
You just rest for now.
No, it's not for you to determine. It's not for you to determine. And I dare say, you see, politics is not morality. Please, just understand, Winifred. Politics and morality are different things. Wike deliberately worked for APC because he wants to upstage his arch rival, which is Rotimi Amechi. And you can see the very acerbic.
He had the issues running battle with Atiku over the same IU.
No. Apart from that, he also did what he did to spite Amechi, so that position Amechi left may even be the one that he will occupy. Because having worked for APC in the presidential election, now they may find a way to accommodate. He didn't contest to be a senator.
No, he didn't.
And I like what he did.
Me too.
He favored his deputy, that woman, deputy governor, Ipalebo, whatever, I've forgotten her name. She's not a senator elect.
Okay, he had a deputy, female deputy.
Wike's deputy governor, deputy is a lady. And today she's a senator elect. In fact, one of the three that was senator. The woman kept quiet. The woman was unassuming, just did what Wike asked him to do. Never raised her voice against Wike. And Wike
when Amechi was there as governor, I think that was what actually divided him. Could not actually muster that leadership control. Even when he was before he left PDP. Remember, reports had it then that Wike actually wanted to come to Abuja, and Amechi said no. It was the same issue with Magnus.
Yeah.
In fact, the issue was revisited recently on the Nation newspaper 2 days ago. I saw a write-up opinion. Oh my God, it was really
explosive.
Explosive. They wanted to just lay Amechi and nail it to the cross.
Yes, now.
And with it came so many.
Okay, what was Amechi's contribution? What was Amechi's contribution to APC in this last election? Since he lost out to Jagaban, he has and he was making very scathing remarks about election. Said that they manufacture figures and all. But that's the same way you imagine
how the INEC chair was nominated. Remember when he was answering Wike was. No, it was for Tinubu's camp.
That Mahmoud Yakubu was nominated.
Somebody from his camp, and that Yakubu Mahmoud was also third fund.
When he was third fund, yes. Wike was the Minister of State. But whatever it is, that's the nature of politics.
You need to read the report. They played Amechi.
No, he put himself up for playing.
I read it.
You don't claim sainthood because you are out of power. How did Amechi win his 2 elections? In fact, the first one was a dash from Supreme Court.
Yes,
he didn't even campaign. The second one, they worked for you. They worked. The same Obiakpo, the result that you are condemning today was what they manufactured for you to win your re-election. He didn't say anything that was wrong with it. Now because you lost out to Jagaban, you could not fathom, you could not swallow that bitter pill. You are not granting. I thought you should have kept quiet. Even if they come to you for interview, you should have maintained your silence. You don't want to work for this man. You don't believe in his philosophy. But don't rock the boat. But as it is now, it was just very unsparing in the criticism of the election, saying that this is the worst election and all of that. How can you be saying that if you are a loyal party man? And at the end of the day, I have problem when people lose and they condemn completely what has benefited them
In the past.
in the past. So suddenly you became born again. Suddenly you started to say, oh, this is not right. But you are better. I mean, that's why I have problem when people sheepishly follow this politician. PDP is our problem for 16 years. Was Amici not governor of PDP for 8 years? So, almost all of them.
Two-time speaker, sir.
Two-time speaker, two-time governor under PDP.
And almost two-time minister, 7 years.
No, it's not almost, well, almost, because it pulled out last year. So, now, you now start pontificating as if you are a saint all your political life. No, that's not the way people run. If you want to be a statesman, even if there are issues, you know the way you diplomatically present your issues.
But what happened after the presidential election? Because he was not the only one that took presidential election, presidential primaries of the APC. But he was not the only person that also took part. I think they were up to.
Yeah, there were over 20.
How come after that adventure whereby
misadventure for him anyway.
And for others too?
No, it wasn't for others. For others, it was not.
It's just like the one that was kind of practically sidelined.
It was not sidelined. He sidelined himself.
Amechi was not being courted. He stayed
no, Wike was not being courted. No, he is the one that sidelined himself. He was not sidelined. Amechi was not sidelined. Remember, he managed to attend one or two,
yes,
but was very quiet.
Yes.
And you know, again, those the gods crack their pancake for them. You know, he has a benevolent chief.
Honestly,
because you finish secondary at the university, you were made a member state House of Assembly.
He was working
under Peter Odili now. It was an aid of Peter Odili.
No, they just can write and insult. It was, you need to read it. I think the guy was just, he gave it, even those that forgot.
No, you need to send it to me.
I will send it to you.
Please,
Actually,
find the link and share with me. But everybody knows the story of Amechi. I'm not sure he ever worked anywhere after his university education. So you became more like an aide, and you were made. Somebody funded your participation. You became a member of the State House of Assembly. Then they made you a speaker. You were speaker for 8 years, including becoming the chairman of Speakers Conference.
Yes.
And then you remember the division of when the chairman of the Nigeria Governors Forum. After he was speaker of Nigeria Conference, he became chairman of Nigeria Governors Forum when they had that election where there was Mago. Now, you now became, after 2 terms of governor, Minister of Transportation.
Also of DG of President Muhammad Buhari's campaign.
That was in 2015.
Yes.
And because they provided
the writer also insisted that he also gave himself that position in 2019, which I have, no, you need to read it. It was quite.
No,
anyway, back to the topic of the day. Now, the story came out yesterday that Ihedioha, who acted as governor for 7 months before he was sacked by the Supreme Court, has tendered. He said he was not going to compete or contest for the primaries. I kept wondering, what is the matter? Why would this take? Because it's still a match with PDP.
He might have seen the handwriting on the wall. See, Alex Otti was.
But you are just saying now that he joined Labour Party.
That's what I learned, that he has joined Labour Party. Well, that could be media speculation. But I am sure that he was actually positioning himself to wrestle power from Opus Odina. And that is part of the reason why he accepted to work for Atiku. Unfortunately, Atiku's presidential ambition has hit a rock. And he may have weighed his chances that if he joined, and they need to be very wary of this. If truly he has withdrawn from the governorship race and he has joined Labour Party, he needs to be mindful of Section 77 of the Electoral Act, which is being used against Peter Obi now. That because that Section 77 of the Electoral Act talked about the party must submit to INEC 1 month before primary the list of its members in soft and hard copies. So if you are not a member of Labour Party, and Labour Party is supposed to have primaries, because the campaign period now is 6 months, and the INEC has put election of November 11, which means you have to calculate 6 months backward. This is already March ending. If you defect to Labour Party, will you have been a member of Labour?
April, May, June, July.
No, not for campaign. Before primaries, you don't get. You have to do primaries before you become the standard bearer of the party. And you have to have been in that party before the party will submit names of its members in print and hard copy to INEC. Because that's what is being used against Peter Obi now. That Peter Obi left PDP in May 28, 2022. And the primaries was in June, maybe 1st or 2nd in June. And so he wasn't in that Labour Party for upward of, or that his name was not on the list of those that were sent to INEC. But I don't know how judiciary will react to that, and because I've read that section 77, there were no penalties specified that if you are not a member as at the time the list is submitted, whether there are penalties for it. It's silent on penalty. It just said that 1 month to the election, the list of the party members in print and hard copy will be submitted. In fact, there are 2 sections of the Electoral Act where that is demanded of political parties. So, Emeka Ihedioha, I think he's a lawyer. He needs to advance his mind to that if he wants to go and join Labour Party. That will he have enough time? Will his name be on the Labour Party membership before the primaries will hold sometimes next
month? Well, that is that. So, let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll be looking at other topical issues on the papers today. Don't go away. We'll come back.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Inside Nigeria, keeping you informed on what matters.
Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, the program is Inside Nigeria, your number 1 breakfast show on television. My name is Winnie Fettoba, in the studio has been a public affairs analyst, is a TV host, and a syndicated columnist. Thank you so much once again.
My pleasure.
Yes, we are looking away from politics because the politics all day long. Now, today is let's look at the nation on President-elect's birthday. Buhari Tinubu were placed to perform as president. President released torrents of encomiums for president-elect at 71. Prayers to hold in Lagos. That is on the Nation paper. And of course, other papers carried it as well. But Nation newspaper today is quite huge, considering the amounts of volumes of adverts that went into the
torrents of adverts. Today,
it's separate. They don't number it separately.
Oh, okay. Today, the Nation has made a bumper.
Yeah, it's really a bumper.
The heaviest since
torrents of adverts that
Nation
for the paper
came to be. You know, yes, Winifred, success has many fathers.
It does.
And I'm not surprised that the nation is almost 200 pages, very heavy with adverts. And you know what that means? For a newspaper, if they are able to get over 50 adverts in one day. But then, last year.
Even on this day said Buhari, Baja, Biamila, Wase, Sanwo-Olu, Bello, others rejoice with Tinubu at 71.
I also rejoice with President-elect
Yes.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Jagabambo group on his 71st birthday. You see, this is why it said that destiny can be delayed. I mean, it cannot be denied. Or is that how it said? Yes. This man said it's been his lifelong ambition, and he has waited 70 years. You know, that's why it is said that between the promise and the promised land, there's always a wilderness. If we go by what Jagaba himself said, he had wanted to be vice president of Buhari in 2015. But when issues were raised about Muslim ticket, he has to step down and nominated Oshibadu. According to him, he nominated Oshibadu to have a balanced Christian Muslim ticket.
Sorry if I may also chip in just for to set the record straight. According to him, but however, Buhari's President Muhammad Buhari's biographer didn't say so, because in his biography he said that Buhari himself chose.
But the biographer could have been right.
It was something that caused
that was why the Ashwadu's camp reacted after that.
He himself did not react. He kept quiet, and I was like, you see how history is being deducted, because prior to this, everybody had the notion that it was actually.
Does Buhari know Oshibadu himself?
Only for Buhari to tell us that.
Most of the ministers, even Aisha Buhari said, if you recall, though in this second term, Aisha has been quiet. But remember, about 2016, 2017, Aisha Buhari tweeted that most of the people working with her husband were unknown to him, and that they were not the people that worked for his election. So I brought unknown people. So, you know, that's to tell you that most of the people that were in his cabinet were not people he personally know or chose. So, by and large.
Because at the end of the day, for anyone that bought I've forgotten the title of the book now, they will say, so is the President Buhari himself.
I believe the biographer was wrong.
Nominated.
I mean, which one
you remember it was something that
I know, and that's why the Ashwadu camp also rebooted that to say, no, you are wrong, biographer. Because when you have a biographer, it doesn't mean that, it means that somebody wrote that for you.
Yes, but the biographer will be cross-checking facts with his.
But you know, attention for details may not actually be there for.
You see, that's what I'm saying, that this history of it, because people tend to distort history.
But the one I would rather believe is that Ashwadu, because this is more recent, and the presidency hasn't come out to reboot it, that he chose Oshibadu, that initially he shortlisted 3 names, and he mentioned those 3 names, and later he reduced it to 1, which is Yemi Oshibadu, and sent to the president for announcement. So the issue is that I'm trying to encourage those people who are out there who have fought many battles, who have not succeeded, that if you are still alive, God can still do it for you. Look, it has taken this man 71 years to realize his ambition.
But this is the first time he actually came out to say, I'm trying to number 1 seat.
Yeah, but that's why I went back in history to say in 2015, he had actually wanted to be number 2, believing that maybe that number 1 is unattainable for him. But as God will have it, he is now the president-elect. And the most important thing is that we congratulate him on his 71st birthday. We wish him best. I'm not looking forward to any personal compensation or whatever. But we're looking forward to good governance for him, because Nigeria economy is prostrate. Nigeria is in dire need of good governance. From May 29, now Buhari is a lame dog. People are not even aversing their minds to whatever policies or programs that Buhari is doing, because now it's an outgoing.
Even Buhari himself is already counting.
He said he's in a hurry to go. He said he's in a hurry to go. So it means that the next, because today is 29, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, so 2 months from today will be you will be at Eagle Square, maybe to cover the 2 months from today, exactly 2 months today. So history will be made. God sparing our lives. Jagaban will be inaugurated. The bottom line is this: don't give up on your dream, no matter how long it takes.
Yes.
The only person whose dream has died is the person who is dead. If you are alive, you can look. Many of us didn't give Jagaban opportunity to be, because people who are raising a lot of views and cries about his health, even during the primaries, this man is not healthy. Oh, he should be Osinbajo. Oh, he should be this person. He should be president of the Senate. But that's the way of God. He chose whom he likes. He said the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong. It's time and chance that happens to everything. That's Ecclesiastic. You are the mother in Israel, so you should correct me where I'm wrong. Ecclesiastic chapter 9, 1 to 9 or something. So by and large, we wish President-elect happy birthday. We hope this time next year it will have a lot to celebrate in terms of good governance for Nigeria. I granted an earlier press interview with the Victor Radio Kaduna just some few minutes ago before coming in. And I said, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is poised to deliver. Why? One, he's experienced, he's a former governor, former senator, he's makers of men. He has mentored so many Nigerians, men, women, native and non-native. And above everything, he's a well-made man. He's a successful businessman. He's not looking for what to eat. He's not looking for money to build a new house. So he's already at the departure log at 71. This is icing on the cake for him to achieve. So he needs to throw himself into this governance from day one. And I'm glad he has formed a committee to start helping him to look for the best stance in his government. Remember, Winifred, one of the bills that the president signed into law, was it last week or thereabout, constitutional amendment, is that a president have to nominate his cabinet within 60 days.
No, it doesn't mean 60 and then 60 days.
Balablu. Between 60 days. Likewise, a governor has to appoint his cabinet within 60 days. So we are looking at May, June, July. By end of July or thereabout, the cabinet must be. So right now, Asiwaju must have people adulting for him across the globe, because we need the most competent hands to help run this country if we are going to make any headway. We cannot make 2023 gift for political jobbers. People who have no second address, people who are professional politicians. They can be settled at other levels. Maybe board members, not even chairmen. Just give them board positions. But in terms of running the administration, it needs to go for the best, male, female. And I'm looking forward. And this is my appeal to Jagaban. For those of you who know him, I don't know him or I'm not close to him, but if you know him, he has to deliver on the national gender policy. 35% of his cabinet must be made of women.
Yes.
And he must also give youth and persons with disabilities opportunity, even if it's a couple of slots, because that is how to run an inclusive governance. In fact, subsequently, by the grace of God, God sparing my life, I'm going to take him up on that, the kind of cabinet we look forward to. Inclusive cabinet. People from across the globe. We have Nigerians that are excelling all across the globe. Let's adopt, bring the best to come and help us run. Not politicians. You can settle politicians at different levels. You can make them ambassadors. Yes. Let them go to China, let them go to US. If they like, let them go to UK. Force them out. That's settlement. And make them board members. But the key decision makers must be technocrats who has the knowledge, because this is knowledge economy now. We are talking of knowledge. We are not talking of analog leadership that you'll be quoting out of data. People can use their smartphone to cross-check facts, to check data on their own, not those who will be relying on their aides to even tweet for them.
Yes.
I don't want to mention there are those who don't know how to use Twitter. So they just said, oh yeah, say this on my behalf. And that's all they push out. But we need people with knowledge economy, people who are technocrats, people who have competence across the country. Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, Ibibio, Ijaw, anywhere, Benin, like you, people from all over to run this government, because then that's the way to have dividends of democracy.
Thank you so much. I hope the president-elect listens to this advice and buy it. Now, just before we go, let's see the Guardian, the story on the Guardian newspaper this morning. It says subsidy removal plan raises anxiety as Labour breaks rank. Subsidy removal plan raises anxiety as Labour breaks rank. Labour not aware of palliative talks on subsidy. Pengassan OK subsidy removal. NLC resist deadline. Don't impoverish masses. ASC SN charges new government. Palliative committee yet to harmonize positions 1 year after. Indigate. Incoming administration to propose pay rise via palliative body. Now, how do you see that? And of course, other papers carry the story on Labour as well. The Nation says Labour shares plan strike over naira scarcity for 2 weeks. Leadership says the same thing. Naira scarcity. NLC shares plan strike by 2 weeks.
Anyway, Labour, the issue of subsidy is not something to toy with, because we can ill afford to continue to subsidize this bill.
Why on the Punch, stop fuel subsidy, revive refineries, Pengassan tells government. Revive refineries are gulping
billions, 1.5 billion was borrowed to fix Port Harcourt. Timi Presiva promised that Nigeria that it will be completed by December 2022. Yes. From that date, they shifted it to the first quarter of 2023, which is March ending. Now he has shifted it to second quarter again. This is why people have lost faith in government. They keep shifting the goalposts. Now, even the Dangote refineries were so jubilant will come on stream by the first quarter of 2023. First quarter is ending in another couple of days, and we have not had the date for inauguration of Dangote refinery. So, and that's where we have 20% equity. And that is heartbreaking for me, because, okay, in this year budget, we have put 3.5 trillion as subsidy claim. Imagine if we spend that kind of money on infrastructure. I don't know if you get my drift.
Yes.
Infrastructure on the roads, on the waterways, inner waterways and all of that, and improve the infrastructure. Will we not have better returns than to just continue to subsidize this PMS that is perpetually not available?
Exactly, not available.
We are still queuing.
Exactly.
We are still queuing. And half for the better part of last 1 year, we buy PMS at between 350 to 400 at black market. So why then can't we use this money from June of 2023 and spend it on other sectors like electricity?
Yes.
Today, Buhari is leaving the state with about 5,000 megawatts of electricity still being generated. Most of us relies on a better pass my neighbor to run our homes. Many of the things we put in fridges and freezers are getting to rot because of lack of enough electricity. So why should we continue to subsidize? And another thing that boggles my mind, Winifred, is the issue of uniform pricing, I think is not going to help us to overcome the challenge of distribution. Because even if Dangote refineries come on stream today, even if Port Harcourt refineries come on stream today, the pipelines have been vandalized and cannot be used to transport PMS. Now, we do not have rail linking either Port Harcourt refinery or Dangote refinery or even the port, Apapa and Tinkan Island in Lagos, which then means that we continue to depend on trucking from Lagos to Kara Namuda, from Lagos to Gusau, from Lagos to Abuja, articulated vehicles that destroys our road are still being relied on to bring in
not only
products.
destroy our roads, kill people.
Kill people,
they have their breaking and they run over cars.
So my question is, even if the refineries are fixed, how about fixing the pipeline so that pipelines are the one connected to the refinery and can pump, products can be pumped and then they come to depots, Ore, Suleja, Mina, Kaduna, and all the other depots. But now that boys have made it a target to vandalize the pipeline, we rely on articulated vehicles. But this is where I'm going. Why then will we say, or a deregulated downstream sector will say, the price of PMS in Lagos should be the price in Abuja? Because if I take off from Lagos and I say I'm coming to Abuja, and somebody takes off from Lagos and is going to Ibadan, you are not going to pay the same transport fare. It's the same thing if you want to carry luggage from point A to point B. The person who is going further will pay higher than the person who is going down or whose distance is not that much. And what I'm saying, for us to see the end of this fuel scarcity, even if Dangote comes on stream, even if Port Harcourt comes on stream, is that we need to deregulate the pricing. Price must be according to distance in terms of bringing in the product. Because if I want to carry my farm produce from Igwebe to Abuja, and somebody is bringing the same product from Lokoja, you will not pay the same amount. Even if you are carrying the same goods, the same weight, the distance from Igwebe to Abuja is not the distance from Lokoja to Abuja. So why should the price be uniform? And you said you are doing deregulation. So my own appeal is that for us to see the end to this fuel scarcity, we need to deregulate the pricing so that you charge based on how it takes you. Because one thing people do not know, and I'm using this opportunity to enlighten Nigeria, is that now the articulated vehicles that we use to convey this product run on diesel. They are not running on PMS. They run on diesel, and diesel is deregulated. So somebody is buying 900 naira per liter diesel to bring in product from Apapa or Tinkan to Abuja. Look at the number of liters of diesel that this articulated vehicle will consume. Now you want him to pay or to sell at the same amount as somebody who just go to Tinkan and bring it to fuel station in Apapa. It doesn't work. It's a wrong-headed policy. So the law of economics, price recovery, is that beyond just deregulating the product, we must also deregulate the price. So if we are lucky, they are able to fix Kaduna refinery, and Kaduna is supplying Abuja, we'll pay less. But if we are expecting products from Lagos to come and serve us in Abuja, we should not expect people in Ogun State who are adjacent to Lagos to buy at the same amount as those of us in Abuja. That is what can incentivize the retailer to bring in this product, because that way they will charge cost recovery rate. Because as you see, if you remove fuel subsidy today, would you still be paying subsidy or transportation? You don't get what I'm saying. And that's why I'm saying, assuming that Dangote comes on stream, Dangote is based in Lekki Free Trade Zone in Lagos. Assuming Port Harcourt refineries comes on stream, they are able to do turnaround maintenance. The people in Port Harcourt should be able to buy lesser than the people who are in Asaba.
But sorry, but there was something that happened though. With that acute fuel scarcity. In Benin, they were paying higher, and yet Benin that is just close to Lagos.
It's because the products, they are not getting enough supply.
They were paying over 300 per liter. While we here in Abuja were even paying, we were buying.
You know why
less.
we are paying less? Because this is the headquarters of NNPPCL, and they are monitoring them and enforcing the price cap. But that's why the black market boys will get products and the fuel station will not get. You don't get what I'm saying. In Benin, they understand the dynamics of what I'm saying. So you go and buy from major marketer. You go and buy. Sometimes you just sell your license, or you sell. You give, like, somebody who is a wholesaler and somebody is a retailer. So the wholesaler will give you at company price. You get, but the retailer is like cement now. Dangote cement. If you want to buy from the major distributor, the price will be lower. But if I'm going to buy from that major distributor and resell, I want to put my own transport margin on top. And that is inclusive of transportation, storage, and other ancillary costs, and then my own profit margin. And that's why, up to today, go and ask them at Dangote Refinery, how much do you push out a bag of cement? It may be just 2,000. But when it gets to the final consumer, it may have gone to 5,000 because of different layers of middlemen. And the fact that you also have to pay transport, pay for storage, pay taxes, and all of that levies. So what I'm saying is that as a student of economics, we should not expect that they will just remove subsidy and say we are not putting money, and then we will be expecting the price of a liter to be sold equal amount across the country. The distance from where they take these products to service Maiduguri is not the same as the one that you bring to Oyo in Ibadan, which is less than about 100 kilometers. And compare 100 kilometers to 800 kilometers, and you want them to pay to sell at uniform price. It will not work. If you want to see the end of this scarcity, two things we need to do. I know our time is up. Two things we need to do. First, let's connect the rail line to the port. So when you connect the rail line to the port, you can then use cargo train to move the products interland. Since the boys have taken over the pipeline, they have broken everything is in the pipeline. They are now breaking the pipeline every year. So connect the train to port and to the refineries, and then move the product through cargo train. Then put the products at the stores at the depots. So when a articulated vehicle goes to Suleja here to bring in product, it can sell because the distance covered to bring the product is short. Compare that to going to Lagos, which is over 1,000 kilometers, and then you expect that they should sell that same product the same amount as it's being sold in Lagos. It doesn't make economic sense.
Thank you so much for that explanation and your thoughts on today's insight. I look forward to seeing you same time next week. At least you don't have other.
Stomach infrastructure is very important.
It's key.
It's key. I'm not on your staff list. Maybe you put me on the staff list as a consultant, so I will not fail you.
Okay.
But anytime we have other things to do to earn some shishi.
So we are going to end today's program Inside Nigeria. We look forward to seeing you same time, same station tomorrow. My name is Yuri.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.